We've just come in to the wood. We're on the far side of the pig shed woods where we've been before, and this again is what I think is part of the travel route. So we've just literally stepped in and look at all this stuff, and I'm sure these are messages and signals to show how to get across the landscape, you know, to show the way to go for anyone else who follows behind you. We're not very far from the road, but this is a woodland that I don't think people will go in because of the pig sheds, because it stinks and the pig sheds are really smelly. So I think it's an area that would be very safe for them to spend some time in, because there's nobody here. Oh, sorry, spider. I wonder how many cobwebs I've destroyed. Yeah. That is such a weird area of busyness there. Very, very different looking than the rest of the woodland. Fascinating. Okay, so we're going out of this bit again now, and we're going a bit closer to the back of the pig shed, which is just over this field where you can see Rob stumbling. Okay, we've just come through that little gap there, back into the wood, about 100 metres on, and the first thing we see are these things on the floor. Right as you come in, you see where that one's been broken off. I don't know who did it, and there's a Lena there sitting in that little tree. Oh, and there's a Lena right there across the entrance. Now we see that very, very often, and look, it's not even touching the floor. So it could have fallen out of a tree easily. And look, there's a little game trail going along there. That looks quite interesting over there. But I think that area there that you can see is where the farmer has cleared the edge of his field and just piled up the wood at the edge of the field to stop it encroaching on his land. So none of this has grown here, apart from this tree here, which has been bent over, and then these other things have been threaded through it. And then there's a couple of little Lenas there. That goes back out into the field, that goes back towards the other side of the wood, that is part of what I think is the travel route. Right, we've just come round the back of the pig shed. The road is just through that gap that you can see there, probably only, 150, 200 metres. And that's where I think they would cross over from the Tusson wood into this wood. And then here, look, we've got this lovely pinned arch, and it's pinned with this very nice white stick there. And this area looks like it's just been cleared only recently. But behind that wall of foliage, we've seen a few good places from this side, not from inside because we can't get in there, where you could have quite a nice secret den. Another field. We've come into another little narrow section, and the first thing we've come across is this thing on the ground just as we walk in. And then here is a pinned arch and another little leaner. That area you can see just through there has just not long been logged, but this area has been left. It's only narrow, probably, I don't know, 60, 70 metres wide, that's all. But it makes a nice pathway, and we're following what looks like a game trail. There's some very interesting leaners. I mean, they all could just be natural. Yeah, well, now this is the second one of these that we've seen. So we're wondering, first, was it a little fire pit for someone who was, you know, wild camping? Or, I don't know, I mean, where have those stones come from? And why are they kind of in that circular shape? It would seem to be probably a human thing to me. Oh, this is interesting down here, look. That's underneath. Then above it is a little arch. We spotted this break as we're coming along, and we've come to this little area. There's another break there. Well, it's not a break, is it? It's oh, I see, it's a pinned arch. It's pinned with that through there. So there's a pinned arch, and then there's this stick that is really, sorry, I've got a spider in my eye. This Y stick that is very white and really sticking out in the landscape there. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a crow alert as well. We'll just have a quick look around this little area. Oh, pinned arch back there with a big log, he says. I can't see it now because I've got my specs off because I'm looking at the screen. There's millions of cobwebs today, millions. Oh yeah, oh that's nice. Ooh, spider.
That one.
So that one is resting up through there, laying alongside there, and it's holding down with a little, it's got a little nodule there, and that's what's holding down that pinned arch. But also on the pinned arch there's a Y stick at the end of it that's jammed up against the tree as well. We found once again one of those things that we call a decorated fallen tree. Now, all of these things could just have happened when the tree fell down, because it would cause chaos and devastation, I assume, as it falls out of the air and lands on the ground. But it just looked interesting. And then there's also this. So we've got 2 sticks there wedged in. This one, the third one, is just hanging. It's wedged in because it's caught behind there, and it's also caught behind the rest of that tree at the top. And again, that could have just fallen down. This is just leaned in there. It's not attached at the bottom, down there. It's just laying on the floor. What have you found, Rob? Oh, another leaner there.
So then got that weird Y stick with that one wedged in it.
Oh yeah. So, let's look. So this one runs along the ground, and it's going over to that little
You wanted to look at
disturbed area that I thought was very interesting. There's a leaner at the start of it, then this thing going along the ground, then we've got a stick there, a leaner there going up into the tree, then we've got a Y stick which is supporting another leaner, and this one that it's resting on goes all the way along there, connects to another Y stick which leans into another tree. And it's all about connection and wood touching each other, it seems to be. This is all holding together a pinned arch that is pinned under the first bit of wood I showed you that's holding it all together. And behind it is another leaner over there. Right, hoping to reinforce what Max Powers was saying. Here's a little glyph on the floor, and then as you look up, there's a leaner, then there's another leaner, and then in front of us there's another leaner. So is that a message of the direction we're supposed to take? Because just down here, and we are following a kind of rough game trail, but down here there's a lot of stuff that seems to be going on around this fallen tree. Again, we've got patches of disturbed earth with sticks around them, or branches around them. Now, is this devastation round here just fallen trees, or is it something else? So I'm on the other side of that big sort of structure thing now, and this is quite interesting. There's a few little things resting on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little bits all threaded through there. A leaner and another leaner, and then this sort of disturbed ground with all sticks in it again. And remember, this disturbed ground, when you walk on it, makes loads of noise. Is that done on purpose to make a noise so that they can hear prey come in or people come in, or I don't know, just thinking out loud. So we've just come into another little bit of wood, and it seems very quiet. There seems to be a lot less sign, but walking through it, we've just come onto this bit. And this looks quite interesting. So there's a stick there, and that leads to this little thing. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sticks all tangled up in there with a leaner above it, and the leaner is holding down a pinned arch. Oops. And also we've got these disturbed areas again. Now we're noticing that each time we find a little flurry of activity like this, we also find the spots in the ground where it almost looks like things have been sitting. There's some nice big leaners in this wood, really big trees, but we don't know whether they've just fallen down naturally. Okay, there's that little structure, and then right next to it is this cleared patch of ground, and then all over the ground around it always are all these sticks. There's another one, and there's all the sticks. Now, if this is where deer sit, I can't see why there'd be loads of sticks, because if you look here, there's the ground and there's no sticks lying there. So something is connected to the sticks and the patches of bare earth, but I don't know what. So here's another patch of disturbed earth, and here are the sticks again. And here, very interesting. And here are the sticks. So does something sit and chew the sticks? Does something sit and play with the sticks and snap them and, I don't know, make patterns with them? No idea. We don't have any raccoons, so we don't have animals here that, you know, can do things with their little hands like raccoons can. Not sure if this is anything, but there's a stick there. jammed in there, and then just there is a little pinned arch being held in place by that lovely Y stick. So we've just seen this. We don't know maybe whether it's perhaps like a fence or a barricade. It goes along there and along there, you see? And down there, then there's some stuff on the floor, and then there's another leaner and another leaner back there. But I don't know if it's a wall, a barricade, natural. Could be anything. There's another leaner. That's the break there that's going across this path where I'm going. Oh, just duck down under that and look at this here. This is interesting. Now this looks like these have all been leaned, spider's web, in one direction. See? That's strange, and they all meet in the top there, right by Rob's head. Oh, and there's a nice Y stick in there, look. But that's strange. That certainly stands out in these woods. And that is right by the path. There's a game trail, isn't there? Oh, now look. Now, why is that there? That's strange. I mean, sticks don't line themselves up like that, surely, in nature, just naturally. And that's right on the path, amongst all of these instructions, possibly telling you what way you're meant to go. Well, we'll go down there and we'll take a look. So here's another bit of chaos. But I noticed when I was looking at it, having a good scout around, see, we're right on the edge again. I noticed that this was a break. It's not new. That's quite an old break. So whether that's significant or not, I don't know. But this stuff is far enough from the edge of the field that I don't suspect that it's the farmer, you know, clearing his land and dumping the trees in here. It doesn't look like that, and we've seen lots of that, so I think we know the difference. We can discriminate now. We've just moved along, I don't know, another 50, 60 metres, and we've just spotted that by an entrance, and there's the field that we were in. But then right next to it we spotted this, which looks like it's been layered and layered to make it more obvious. Or maybe the first message was left and then someone else comes along and another message is laid over the top, and then another message is laid over the top of that. And maybe that shows how many times people have been through, or I don't know, just a thought. And we were looking to see if we could see any kind of signature, you know, that would denote who did it, like a tag when you're doing graffiti. But we don't know what to look for, so we haven't a clue really. But we just keep filming it all so that maybe one day, if somebody does work it out, they can look at our film and say, oh yeah, I see that now. So this is the base of this tree, and it's one of those trees that has lots of thin branches coming out from the bottom. I think they were cut regularly, and they're coppiced so that people can use them for burning. But the most interesting thing is that away from the base of the tree is some of the sticks lined up here against this tree, and they're quite a distance from the mothership. Look, so it's probably, I don't know, it's probably 8 to 10 feet away, leaning up against there. Now I don't know how, if they broke in the wind, or by a wild boar crashing through, why would it be that many feet from the bottom of the tree? Why wouldn't it have just tipped over like these and laid on the ground? So that appears to me that somebody has lifted those up off the ground, moved them across and leaned them against there.